Hey golfers, welcome back to the basement. Hey, Mike here with 5 Minute Golf. Real quick, I've got some issues with some of the teaching that I'm seeing going around, and I'm going to talk about one of them today. Really, in general, what I have a problem with is when golf instructors of any kind tell you that there's only one way to do something. All right, I've been playing golf for about 30 years, and just about thinking back, every time I've heard an instructor say, this is the way to do this or the only way to do this, you can find an example of a really good player or a pro golfer that does something completely different. So today is one of those, and I really want to just encourage you, if you ever hear some type of instruction that says this is the way or the only way to do something, I want you to question it and try something completely opposite just to see what happens. At the end of the day, whatever works best for you to get the ball into the hole in as few strokes as possible, that's what you should do when it comes to golf, okay? There may be a couple exceptions, but not many. If it works, it's hard to argue with. I'm going to talk about ball position today with your long irons, all right? And this really comes from a video that I watched a couple years ago that really just kind of bugged me. And so I'm watching a video, and there's a guy talking about ball position, and he's talking about long iron, so I'm holding a 4-iron just like he was. And he says if you want to hit your 4-iron well, you got to play the ball basically right in the middle of your stance, so right between your feet, and then you move the golf ball forward about one golf ball, so about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches towards your front foot. So I'm a right-handed golfer, so it would go towards my left foot. And then that's where the ball should be for hitting your long irons, okay? Here's the problem. I had a problem with it then. I have a problem with that instruction now. I can hit a 4-iron just fine, and I don't play the ball there, okay? I play the ball further forward. I play it more off my left heel or just inside my left heel, about there. And according to that video that I watched, that's not how you should do it. But I can do it that way, and I hit a 4-iron just fine, okay? I actually prefer the ball a little bit more forward for just about every shot. Not if I want to hit it low or something like that, but I hit the ball better there. And here's how I've discovered that. I've played around with all kinds of different ball positions, and that's really the point of this video. I want you to experiment, all right? There are some players on tour who play the ball further back in their stance. There are players that play it more towards the middle. There are other players that move it a little bit further forward. Okay, Jack Nicklaus, the greatest player of all time, the way he explained it is he said, I play the ball with every club in the same position relative to my left foot, and then he varied the width of his stance. So if he's hitting a wedge, his feet are closer together. If he's hitting a 7-iron, his feet are a little bit further apart. If he's hitting a driver, his stance is at its widest, okay? So again, back to the point, some players play the ball further back and they can hit long irons just fine. Some players put the ball in the middle of their stance and they can hit long irons just fine. And other players like myself, I play it a little bit further forward, okay? I want you to experiment, and you can do this anywhere. Again, back to the whole point of this channel here called 5 Minute Golf is I talk about different methods that you can use to practice from home. So I'm down here in the basement, and all I want you to do, if you have a basement, living room, garage, whatever, go to a place where you can swing a club, and preferably, if you have something, you can go out in your backyard if you want to. If you have a mat or a rug or something like that that you can hit, that would be even better. But I want you to grab your, 6-iron, 5-iron, 4-iron, whatever you have, and just start making some swings. No golf ball. And I want you to pay attention to where are you impacting the ground. Where are you hitting the ground? Are you hitting it more towards the middle of your stance? Are you hitting it a little bit further forward? Okay. If you've been hitting balls on a range, you may not have paid attention to this, but one of the things that that's really magic about practicing without a golf ball is that instead of your focus being on what the golf ball is doing and where it's going, you'll pay attention to some other things. And so it's actually very effective to just make some swings and start paying attention to where your golf club is hitting the ground, okay? So grab your longest iron. Might be a 6-iron, might be a 5-iron, might be a 4-iron. You can do this with hybrids too. All right, and just start paying attention to where are you impacting the ground. And then ideally, you want that ball to be right in front of that point. Now, you're probably not gonna hit the ground, just like myself, in exactly the same spot every single time, all right? That's fine, we're amateur golfers. Let's get the ball in the area or as close to that section of ground that we impact when you make the swing the majority of the time, okay? So again, I like to play it a little bit further forward. You can give that a shot, see if it works. You know, try it back in the middle. Just pay attention to where the club is impacting the ground. Then the next time you are hitting golf balls, you know, grab your longest iron, whatever that is, and play around with it. Hit a couple balls with the ball a little bit further towards the middle of your stance. Try it a little bit, or, you know, hit a couple with the ball further forward, maybe a little bit further back, and experiment, okay? Again, that's really the point of this video. When somebody says, any kind of golf instruction says this is the only way to do it, I immediately want you to think, well, maybe that's not the case, and then go experiment. Try something else, okay? Ultimately, and I mentioned it early on, ultimately what you're trying to do is figure out what works best for you. Find that and then go with that, and you will notice an immediate impact in the scores that you're able to shoot on the course, all right? We'll see you next time. Hey, if you have a busy life like mine, right? We just had a birthday party for our 4-year-old, our youngest. She turned 4 actually yesterday, but we had the party today. So if your life is busy and you want to play great golf, but you have a hard time finding time to get to the golf course to practice like I do, I work on my game in my basement and it works great. So definitely subscribe to the channel. That's what I talk about. How do we get better from home with practice tips, methods, that kind of thing that actually fit into our busy schedules. All right. Hey, thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon.